Well, a bank, as I said, it starts off with having a relationship with the client. So that's typically not something that an insurer brings to the table. If you then look at the rest of the value chain of what banking would be about, it's execution of a transaction. So originating a transaction, having the client relationship, executing the transaction, documenting it, doing your due diligence. I think that's where we also can assist and help in, let's say, bringing new lenders to the market. But then I think it's quite similar. Portfolio management, you make a loan for 3, 5, 7 years, 10 years. I think that's quite close to the heart of insurers. So that's, I think, is quite similar. If you then look at, let's say, the back office of the bank, processing of interest payments, repayments, granted, I think many of the insurers will not have that infrastructure, so they will also turn to an agent or something like a bank to take care of that for them. So yes, there are some similarities if you look at the value chain, but it's primarily on the portfolio management, I'd say, where we have an overlap, and the rest, I think we can add as banks to the benefit of non-bank lenders to bring them on board.
Okay, Christian, do you?
I totally agree with that. It's not a question of opposing, let's say, banks and debt funds. I think there is a lot of complementarity here. What we want to build with banks is mostly a partnership approach where we can share things with banks, again, knowing that they have less money to lend. So it's good for them, it's good for us as well, because we have access to their skills, which are historic skills and which are all in all very positive. If you look at the track record, albeit of the evolution of the regulatory environment, what we think we can bring as well is a capacity to underwrite the underlying assets. And for instance, the first loan that we bought early August in our first senior fund, I think the contribution that we brought was extremely well received by the banks, because we had a view on the assets that they did not necessarily have, using the local teams we have as well. So I view this as very complementary business.